I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. Hold the wrist, I had to get the bag. Ice on my wrist, diamonds move a lag. Never switching position, that's when money be in my bag. Gotta thank God for all the shit that I got, I never had. Now that I'm in it, I got a ball, roll it the wrist, and downs I froze. She wanna fuck, dominoes, taking it down, dominoes. Then kick it out, adios. Stacking the bread, loud the door, hold the wrist though. Don't know where the switch though. Got my bands up, think I need a brand stroke. We keep it lit, I can't let these niggas miss us. Talking crazy, think you might get stitched up. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop.
Hold up, weed in the whip got rolled up, 32 G's in the Ziploc. Hold up, now I'm talking shit. Saw me walk to the whip, every night get lit. Me and Uno for the hit.
Driven to deep left field and gone.
Bada boom, bada bing, bout cash, bout bling. Go ahead, make it ring, 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 ring. Told the thought he bring a thing, 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 thing. Whole squad need chains and rings. Loud smoke, some Asian thing. Yeah, rip it open and I run in the Nemus. Copping on it even if I don't need it. Bands on me left the cashier speeches. Thank God, thank Keen. The real friends, you don't know the meaning. Get on the bag, go do the math, split it up until it's even. I spaz on the beat for no reason. Tripping out, walking on water like Jesus. Let them know it's no season.
I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. Hold the wrist, I had to get the bag. Ice on my wrist, diamonds move a lag. Never switching position, that's when money be in my bag. Gotta thank God for all the shit that I got, I never had. Now that I'm in it, I got a ball, roll it the wrist, and downs I froze. She wanna fuck, dominoes, taking it down, dominoes. Then kick it out, adios. Stacking the bread, loud the door, hold the wrist though. Don't know where the switch though. Got my bands up, think I need a brand stroke. We keep it lit, I can't let these niggas miss us. Talking crazy, think you might get stitched up. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop.
Hold up, weed in the whip got rolled up, 32 G's in the Ziploc. Hold up, now I'm talking shit. Saw me walk to the whip, every night get lit. Me and Uno for the hit.
Driven to deep left field and gone.
Bada boom, bada bing, bout cash, bout bling. Go ahead, make it ring, 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 ring. Told the thought he bring a thing, 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 thing. Whole squad need chains and rings. Loud on it even if I don't need it, man.
La 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 la. Udah di-share juga tuh di Facebook terus ada. Let me see. Who the fuck are you, man? Alright. Sekarang jam berapa? 12.45. Okay. I'll be start reading at I don't know, 1 minute again. I think, yeah. Money. Start reading at I don't know, 1 minute. 1 minute and then I'll start reading. I don't know, I think the audio is good. It should be good. Let's open up the. There you go. Let's go. Money. Let's go. Aku nggak tahu nih bakal jadi kayak gimana. But I hope it's gonna be good. Right, let's just start reading. How about that? Sampai chapter 10 aja ya. I don't wanna read so much. Once, when I was 6 years old, I saw a magnificent picture in a book called True Stories from Nature about the primeval forest. It was a picture of a boa constrictor in the act of swallowing an animal, and this is the copy of the drawing. In the book, it said boa constrictors swallow their prey whole without chewing it. After that, they are not able to move and they sleep through the 6 months that they need for digestion. I pondered deeply then over the adventures of the jungle, and after some work with a colored pencil, I succeeded in making my first drawing. My drawing number 1, it looked like this. I showed my masterpiece to the grown-ups and asked them whether the drawing frightened them. But they answered, frightened? Why should anyone be frightened by a hat? My drawing was not a picture of a hat, it was a picture of a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. But since the grown-up were not able to understand it, I made another drawing. I drew the inside of a boa constrictor so that the grown-ups could see it clearly. They always need to have things explained. My drawing number 2 looked like this. The grown-ups' response this time was to advise me to lay aside my drawings of boa constrictors, whether from the inside or the outside, and devote myself instead to geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. That is why, at the age of 6, I gave up what might have been a magnificent career as a painter. I had been disheartened by a failure of my drawing number 1 and my drawing number 2. Grown-ups never understand anything by themselves, and it is tiresome for children to be always and forever explaining things to them. So then I choose another professions, and I learned to pilot airplanes. I've flown a little over all parts of the world. And it is true that geography has been very useful to me. At a glance, I can distinguish China from Arizona. If one gets lost in the night, such knowledge is valuable. They'll be saying, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna continue. They'll be saying this, I don't give a shit. In the course of this life, I've had a great many encounters with a great many people who have been encountered with matters of consequences. I've lived a great deal among grown-ups. I've seen them intimacy close at hands, and that hasn't much improved my opinions of them. Whenever I met one of them who seemed to me at all night, at clear-sighted, I tried to experiment of showing him my drawings, number 1, which I have always kept, and I would try to find out. So if it was a person of true understanding, but whoever it was, he or she would always say, that is a hat. Then I would never talk to that person about boa constrictors or primal forests or stars. I would bring myself down to his level. I would talk to him about bridge and golf and politics and neckties. And the grown-ups will be greatly pleased by me and have to meet such a sensible man. Chapter 1, pengenalannya boleh juga. Chapter 2. So I lived my life alone without anyone that I could really talk to until I had an accident with my plane in the desert of Sahara 6 years ago. Something was broken in my engine. As I had with me neither a mechanic or any passengers, I set myself to attempt the difficult repairs all alone. It was a question of life or death for me. I had scarcely enough drinking water to last a week. The first night, then I went to sleep on the sand, 1,000 miles away from any human habitations. I was more isolated than a shipwrecked sailor on a raft in the middle of the oceans. Thus, you can imagine my amazement. At sunrise, when I was awakened by the odd little voice, it said, if you please, draw me a sheep. What? Draw me a sheep. I jumped to my feet completely thunderstruck. I blinked my eyes hard and I looked carefully all around me. And I saw the most extraordinarily small person who stood there examining me with a great seriousness. Here you may see the best portrait. Later I was able to make fun of him. But my drawing is certainly very much less charming than its model. So this is the drawing. I'm going to zoom in. Pretty neat. Yes, it's very good. A very good drawing. That, however, it is not my fault. The grown-ups discouraged me in my painter career when I was 6 years old, and I never learned to draw anything except boas from the outside and the boas from the inside. Now I started at this sudden preparations with my eyes fairly starting out my head in astonishment. Remember, I had crashed in the desert 1,000 miles away from any habitation region, and yet my little man seemed neither to be straying uncertainly among the sands, nor to be fainting from the fatigue or hunger or thirst or fear. Nothing about him gave any suggestion of a child lost in the middle of the desert, 1,000 miles away from any human habitations. When at last I was able to speak, I said to him, but what are you doing here? And in answer he repeated very slowly, as if he were speaking to a matter of the great consequence. if you please, draw me a sheep. When a misery is too overpowering, one dare not disobey. Absurd as it might seem to me, 1,000 miles away from any human habitations and in danger of death, I took out my pocket, a sheet of paper, and a fountain and pen. But then I remember how my studies had been concentrated on geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar, and I taught a little crossly too, okay, that I did not know how to draw. He answered me, "That doesn't matter. Draw me a sheep." But I had never drawn a sheep, so I drew him one of the two pictures I had drawn so often. And it was the boa constrictor from the outside, and I was astonished to hear a little fellow grit with it. No, I do not want an elephant instead of boa constrictor. A boa constrictor is a very dangerous creature, and an elephant is very cumbersome. What? Where I live, everything is very small. What I need is sheep. Draw me a sheep. And then I made a drawing. He looked at it carefully, then said, "No, this sheep is already very sickly. Make me another." What the fuck? Yo! Okay. What the fuck? Ngentot. Bro, I was really serious about this. What the fuck is this? Kota panis ini mah. What the? Kontol. Anjing. Arigato. Tai masuk bah. Ngentot. Oke. Anjing banget semua. Kita lanjut lagi ya. Tai banget anjing lah. Lagi serius tak? Saya mana tadi? Aduh, kepencet. He looked at it carefully, then said, "No, this sheep is already very sickly. Make me another." So I made another drawing. My friend smiled gently and indulgently. You see yourself," he said. "That is not a sheep. This is a ram. It has horns." So then I did my drawing over and over once more. But it was rejected too, just like others. This one is too old. I want a sheep that would live long time. By the time my patience was exhausted, because I was in a hurry to start taking my engine apart, so I tossed off this drawing. What the fuck is this? I threw out an explanation of it. This is only his box. The sheep, what you ask, is inside. What the fuck? I was very surprised to see a light break over the face of my young judge. That is exactly the way I wanted. Do you think that sheep is... Ow, jeez, anjing. Aduh. Sama tadi. I was very surprised to see a light break over the face of my young judge. This is exactly the way I want it. Do you think that this sheep will have to have a great deal of grass? Why? Because where I live, everything is very small. There is surely be enough grass for him, I said. It is very small sheep that I have given to you. He bent his hand over his head, the drawing. No, not so small. That look, he has gone to ship, and that is how I made a acquaintance of the little prince. Okay, chapter. This is really like weird stories. Like what the fuck? Anyway, chapter 3. It took me a long time to learn where he came from. The little prince, who asked me so many questions, never seemed to hear the ones I asked him. It was from words dropped by a chance that, little by little, everything was revealed to me. The first time he saw my airplanes, for instance, I shall not draw my airplane, that would be much too complicated for me. Okay. He asked me, "What is that object?" That is not an object, it flies. It is an airplane. It is my airplane. And I was proud to have him learn that I could fly. He cried out, then, "What? You drop out from the sky?" "Yes," I answered modestly. "Oh, that is funny." And the little prince broke into a lovely peal of laughter, which irritated me very much. I like my misfortunes to be taken seriously. Thank you very much. Then he added, "So you two came from the sky. Which is your planet?" At that moment, I caught a gleam of light, the interplanetable mysteries of his presence, and I demanded abruptly, "Do you come from another planet?" But he did not reply. He tossed aduh, ada yang WA. Bentar. He tossed his head gently without taking his eyes from my plane. "It is true that on that you can't have come from very far away." And then the sang into what the fuck is this? How do you pronounce this? Reverie? Okay. Which lasted a long time. Then taking my sheep out of his pocket, he buried himself in his contemplations, Jesus, of this treasure. You can imagine how my curiosity was aroused by this half-confidence about the other planets. I made great effort, therefore, to find out more on this subject. "My little man, where did you come from? What is this? Where I live, of which you speak? Where do you want to take your sheep?" After a reflective silence, he answered, "The thing that is so good about the box you have given me is that at night he can use it at his house." What the fuck is going on in this story? Okay, I'm gonna check. Ada yang WA. Yang mana tadi? That is so. What if you are good? I will give you a string too, so that you can tie him during the day, and a post to tie him to. But the little prince seemed shocked by this offer. "Tie him? What a queer idea!" "But if you don't tie him," I said, "he will wander off somewhere and get lost." My friend broke into another peal of laughter. "But where did you think he would go?" "Anyway, straight ahead of him." Then the little prince said fiercely, "That doesn't matter. Where I live, everything is so small." And with perhaps a hint of sadness, he added, "Straight ahead of him, nobody can go very far back." Chapter 4. I had thus learned a second fact of a great importance. This was that the planet the little prince came from was scarcely any larger than a house. But that did not really surprise me much. I knew very well that In addition to the great planets such as Earth, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, to which we have given names, there are also hundreds of others, some of which are so small that one has not hard time to seeing them through the telescope. When an astronomer discovers one of these, he does not give any name but only number. He might call it, for example, asteroid 325. I have serious reason to believe that the planet from which the little prince came is an asteroid known as B612, 612, I don't know. The asteroid has only been once seen through the telescope. That was by a Turkish astronomer in 1909. On making his discovery, the astronomer had presented it to the International Astronomical Congress in a great demonstration, but it was a Turkish costume, so nobody would believe that what he said. Grown-ups are like that. Fortunately, however, for the reputation of asteroid B612, a Turkish dictator made a law that his subjects, under pain of death, should change the European costume. So in 1920, the astronomer gave his demonstration all over again, dressed with impressive style of elegance, and this time everybody accepted his report. If I have told you these details about the asteroid and made a note of its number for you, it is on account of the grown-ups and their ways. When you tell them that you have made a new friends, they never ask you any questions about essential matters. They never say to you, what does this voice sound like? What games does he love best? Does he collect butterflies? Instead, they demand, how old is he? How many brothers has he? How much does he weigh? How much money does his father make? Only from this figure do they think they have learned anything about him. If you were to say to grown-ups, I saw a beautiful house made out of rosy brick with geraniums in the windows and dove on the roof, they would not be able to get any idea of that house at all. You would have to say them that I saw a house that cost $2,000, $20,000.
Apa itu anjing goblok? Kok di situ bisa ada siluman kontol hijau ya?
Anjing.
Kontol.
Ini apa anjing?
Kepala lu gede, namanya ular ngotot. Cita-citaku menjadi softek agar ku bisa mengkokop meme. Hah?
Au.
Gak usah cari gara-gara pantai. Cepat kau hentikan dia. Gimana caranya bangsat? Ayo. Hap.
What the fuck? Agar gue bisa mengungkap meme. Ini bukan channel family friendly, jadi tidak apa-apa. Anjing bang gue deh. Dari mana tadi cok? Oh ini nih. Then they would exclaim, oh, what a pretty house that is. Just so, you might say to them, the proof that the little prince existed is that he was charming, that he laughed, and that he was looking for sheep. If anybody wants a sheep, that is a proof that he exists. And that would be a good oh shit. And what good would it do to tell them that? They would shrug their shoulders and treat you like a child. But if you said to them the planet that he came is from asteroid B612, then they would be convinced and leave you in a peace from their questions. Aku baca 612 ya, hampir baca 619 anjing. They are like that. One must not hold it against them. Children should always show great forbearance towards grown-up people. But certainly, for us who understands life, figures are matter of indifference. I should have liked to begin the story in the fashions of a fairy tales. I should have liked to say, once upon a time there was a little prince who lived on a planet that was scarcely any bigger than himself, and who had need a sheep. That's crazy if you start a story like that. It was really cliche, at least for a kid. But I think this started to understand what's happening. To those who understand life, that would have given much greater air of truth of my story. For I do not want anyone to read my book carelessly. Carelessly. I have suffered too much grief in setting down these memories. 6 years have been already passed since my friends went away from me. With his sheep, I guess. If I try to describe him here, it is to make sure that I shall not forget him. To forget a friend is sad. To forget a friend is sad. Not everyone has had a friend. Jesus. You don't need to say that. And if I forget him, I may become like a grown-ups who are no longer interested in anything but figures. It is for that purpose again that I have brought a box of paints and some pencils. It had hard to take up drawing against my age again at my age, when I have never made any pictures except those of the boa constrictor from the outside and the boa constrictor from the inside. Since I was sick, I shall certainly try to make my portraits as a true to life as possible. But I am not at all sure of success. One drawing goes along all night, and another has no resemblance to its subject. I make some errors too, of course, in the little prince hide. In the one place that he's too tall and the another is too short. And I felt some doubts about the color of his costume, so I fumble along as best I can. Now good, now bad, and I hope generally fell fair to middling. What are we doing again? Reading. In certain more important details, I shall make a mistake also, but that is something that I will not be my fault. My friend never explained anything to me. He thought perhaps that I was like himself, but I, Alice, did not know how to see sheep through the walls of boxes. Perhaps a little prince like the grown-ups I have had grown old. Chapter 4. Now chapter 5. Okie dokie. Chapter 5. As each day passed, I would learn in our walk something about the little prince planet, his departure from it, his journey. The information would be very slowly as is my chance to fall from his thoughts. It was in this way that I heard on the third day about the catastrophe of the baobabs. Baobabs? The fuck is baobabs? This time, once more, I had the sheep to thank for it. A little prince, I asked me abruptly, for the little prince, asked me abruptly, as if seized by the grave doubt. It is true, isn't it, that the sheep eat little bushes? Yes, that is true. Ah, I'm glad. I did not understand why it is so important that the sheep should eat a little bushes, but the little prince added, then it follows that they also eat baobabs. I pointed out to the little prince that baobabs were not little bushes, but on the contrary, trees as big as castles, and that even if he took a whole herd of elephants away with him, the herd would not eat up the single baobabs. What the fuck? Oh, okay. The idea of the herd of elephants made the little prince laugh. We would have put them in one top of another, he said. Oh, so this is the planet? But he made a wise command. Before they grow so big, the baobabs start out by being little litter. That is strictly correct, I said. But why would you want a sheep to eat like a little little baobabs? Because he's healthy, I guess. He answers to me, come. As he were speaking of something that was self-evident. And I was obliged to make a great mental effort to solve this problem without any assistance. Indeed, as I learned, they were on a planet where the little prince lived on all planets, good plants and bad plants. In consequences, there were good seeds from the good plants and bad seeds from the bad plants. But seeds are invincible. They sleep deep in the heart of the earth's darkness until someone among them is seized with the desire to awaken. Then this little seed will stretch itself and begin, timidly at first, to push a charming little spring inoffensively upward towards the sun. If it's only a sprout of radish, or the spring of rose bush, or would let it bush, one would let it grow whatever it might be wish. But when it is a bad plan, one must destroy as soon as is possible, when very first instant that one recognizes it. So you need to, as soon as possible, killing it if it's a bad seed. Now, there were some terrible seed on the planet that was the home of the little prince, and these were the seed of the baobabs. The soil of that planet was infested with them. A baobab is something that you will never be able to get rid if you attempt it too late. It spreads over the entire planet. It bores clear through it with its roots, and if the planet is too small, the baobabs are too many, they split it into pieces. This is a question of discipline. The little prince said to me later on, when you have finished your own toilet in the morning, then it is time to attend the toilet of your planet. Just so, with the greatest care, you must see to it that you pull up regularly all the baobabs at the very first moment when they can be distinguished from the rose bushes, which they resemble so close in their earliest youth. Oh my god, it is very tedious work. The little prince added, but very easy. Okay. And one day he said to me, you ought to make a beautiful drawing so that the children where you live can see exactly how all this is. That would be very useful for them if they were to travel someday. Sometimes, he added, there is no harm in putting off a piece of work until another day, but when it's a matter of baobabs, that always means of catastrophe. I knew a planet that was inhabited by a lazy man. He neglected 3 little bushes. So, as the little prince described it to me, I have made a drawing of that planet. I do not much like to take the tone of a moralist, but the danger of the baobabs is so little understood, and such considerable risk would be run by anyone who might get lost on an asteroid, that for once I am breaking through my reserve. Children, I say plainly. Watch out for the baobabs. My friend, my friend, have been skirting these dangers for a long time without ever knowing it, and so it is for them that I have worked so hard over this drawing. The lesson of which I pass on by these means is worth all the trouble for all costs to me. So this is the baobabs, and they invasive. This is the planet. Okay. Perhaps you will ask me, why is there no other drawing in this book as magnificent and impressive as this drawing of the baobabs? The reply is simple. I have tried, but with the other, I have not been successful. I made a drawing of the baobabs. I was carried beyond myself by the inspiring force of the urgent necessity. I'm gonna take a drink. We're on chapter 6 right now. Let's just continue. Wait, how long how long am I already been live for? Oh, I think it's an hour. 46? 41? Alright. Oh, little prince. Bit by bit, I came to understand the secrets of your sad little life. For a long time, you had found your only entertainment in the quiet pleasure of looking at the sunset. I learned that new details on the morning of the 4th day when you said to me, I am very fond of sunset. Come, let us go look at the sunset now. But we must wait, I said. Wait for what? For the sunset. We must wait until it's time. At first, you seemed to be very much surprised. And then you laughed to yourself. You said to me, I am always thinking that I am at home. Just go. Everybody knows that when it is noon in the United States, the sun is setting over France. Okay? If you could fly to France in 1 minute, you could go straight into the sunset right from noon. Fortunately, France is too far away for that. But on your tiny planet, my little prince, all you have to do is move your chair a few steps. Then you can see the day end and the twilight pulling whatever you like. One day, you said to me, I saw the sunset 40 times. Oh, fuck. And a little later, you added, you know, one loves the sunset when one is so sad. Were you sad? Were you so sad then? I asked. On the day of the 44th sunset? 44th sunset? But the little prince made no reply. Wait, this is a very quick chapter. Chapter 7. On the 5th day, again, as always, it was thanks to the sheep. The secret of the little prince's life was revealed to me, abruptly, without anything to lead up to it, as if the question had been born of long silent meditation of his problems. He demanded, a sheep, if it eats little bushes, does it eat flowers too? A sheep, I answered, eats everything it finds in its reach. Even flowers that have thorns? Yes, even flowers that have thorns. Then the thorns, what use are they? I did not know. At that moment, I was very busy trying to unscrew a bolt that had got stuck in my engine, and I was very much worried for it. It was becoming clear to me that the breakdown of my plane was extremely serious, and I had so little drinking water left that I had to fear for the worst. The thorns? What use are they? The little prince never let go of her questions. Once he had asked for it, he asked for me. I was so upset over that bolt, and I answered with the first thing that came to my head. Oh, the thorns are of no use at all. The flower have thorns just for spite. No. There was a moment of a complete silence. Okay. What? Then the little prince flashed back at me. Why kind of resentfulness? I don't believe you. The flower are weak creatures. They are naive. They reassure themselves as best they can. They believe that their thorns are terrible weapons. I did not answer. At that instant, I was saying to myself, if this bolt is still won't turns, I'm going to knock it off with my flippy hammer. Again, the little prince disrupted my thoughts. And you actually believe that the flowers? Oh no, I cried. No, I don't believe anything. I answer you with the first thing that came to my head. I don't see. I am very busy with the matter of consequences. He started at me, thunderstruck. Matter of consequences. What the fuck? Continue. He looked at me there with my hammer in my hand, my finger in my back, with engine grease, bending down over an object which seems to him extremely ugly. You talk just like grown-ups. That made me a little ashamed, but he went on it relentlessly. You mix everything up together. You confuse everything. He was really very angry. What the fuck? What is this? He was really very angry. You don't need really and very together is crazy. He tossed his golden curls in the breeze. I know a planet where is a certain rat-faced gentleman. He was never smell a flower. What? Cool. Makasih nih. Siapa anjir? Luka Little Lion. Okay, thank you. Sampai mana tadi anjir? I know a planet where there is a certain red-faced gentleman. He has never smelled a flower. He has never looked at a star and has never loved anyone. Okay, it is sad. He has never done anything in his life but add up of fingers. All day he says over and over, just like you, I'm busy with my matters of consequences. And that makes him swell up with pride. But he's not a man. He is a mushroom. What? A mushroom? The little prince now white with rage. The flowers that have been growing thorns of for millions years, the sheep have been eating them just like the same. It is not a matter of consequences to try to understand why the flowers go to so much trouble to grow thorns which are never of any use of them. Is the warfare between the sheep and the flowers not important? This is not of more consequences that the is this not of more consequence that the fat red-faced gentleman sums? Okay. I need water, jeez. And if I know, I, myself, one flower, which is unique in the world, which grows nowhere but on the planet, but which one little sheep can destroy in a single bite some morning without even noticing what he's doing. Oh, you think that is not important? His face turned from white to red as he continues. If someone's love a flower which just one single blossom grows in all the millions and millions of stars, it is enough to make him happy. So just look at the flipping stars. It is not enough to make him happy. Okay, He can say to himself, somewhere my flower is there. But if the sheep eats the flower, in one moment all his stars will be darkened. And you think that it is not important? He would not say anything anymore. His words were cooked by sobbing. The night had fallen. I had let my tools drop from my hands. Of that moment now was my hammer, my bolt, or thirst, or death. On one star, one planet, my planet, the Earth, there was a little prince to be confronted. I took him in my arms. I rocked him. I said to him, "The flower that you love is not in danger. I will draw you a muzzle for your sheep. I will draw you a railing to put around your flower. I did not know what to say to him. I felt awkward and blundering. I did not know how I could reach him, where I could overtake him and go on hand in hand with him once more. It is such a secret place, the land of tears." Oh my god, it's actually sad. What the fuck? It's actually sad. Okay, chapter 8. Let me do this. Here we go, chapter 8. Chapter 8. I soon learned to know this flower better. On the little prince planet, the flower had always been very simple. They had only one ring of petals. They took up no room at all. They were a trouble to nobody. One morning, they would appear in the grass, and by the night, they would be faded peacefully away. But one day, from a seed blown from no one knew where, a new flower had came up, and the little prince had watched very closely over this small sprout, which is not like any other small sprouts on this planet. It might, you see, have been a new kind of baobab. The scrub soon stopped growing and began to get ready to produce a flower. The little prince, who was present at the first appearance of the huge bud, felt at once that some sort of miraculous apparition must emerge from it. But the flower was not satisfied to complete the preparations for her beauty in the shelter of her green chamber. She chose her color with the greatest care. She adjusted her petals one by one. She did not wish to go out onto the world rumpled like the field of poppies. It was only in the full radiance of her beauty that she wished to appear. Oh yes, she was conquettish creature, and her mysterious adornment lasted 4 days and days. Then one morning, exactly at sunrise, she suddenly showed herself. And after walking with this painstaking precision, she yawned and said, "Oh, this is the flower. Cute. I am scarcely awake. I beg that you will excuse me. My petals are still disarranged. Okay? But the little prince could not restrain his admiration. "Oh wow, how beautiful you are." "Am I not?" The flower responded sweetly. I was born at the same moment as the sun." The little prince could guess easily, even though that she was not any too modest, but how moving and exciting she was. I think it is time for breakfast," she added an instant later. "If you would have a kindness to think of my needs." And the little prince, completely abashed, went to look for a sprinkling can of fresh water, so he tended the water. So too, she began very quickly to torment him with her vanity, which was, if the truth to be known, a little difficult to deal with. One day, for instance, when she was speaking of her 4 thorns, she said to the little prince, "Let the tigers come with their claws." There are no tiger on my planet, the little prince objected. And anyway, tigers do not eat weeds. I am not weeds, the flower replied sweetly. Please excuse me. I'm not at all afraid of tigers, she went on. But I have an honor of draught. I suppose you wouldn't have a screen for me? An honor of draught. That is a bad luck for plant, remarked by the little prince, and added to himself, this flower is very complex creature. At night, I want you to put me under a glass globe. It is very cold where you live. In the place I came from. But she interrupted herself at that point, and she had come in the form of a sheep. She could not have known anything of any other worlds, embarrassed over having let herself to be caught on the verge of such naive untruth. She coughed 2 or 3 times in order to put the little prince in the wrong. The screen, the ring, the pen to the king. The screen, it was just going to look for it when you spoke to me. Then she forced her to cough a little more so that he should suffer from the remorse just the same. So the little prince, in spite of all the good that was inseparable from his love, had soon come to doubt her. He had taken seriously words which were without importance and made him very unhappy. I ought not to have listened her. I confided. I don't know how to wait. Okay, whatever this is, to make me one day. One never ought to listen to the flowers. One should simply look at them and breathe their fragrance, mine perfume, all my planet. But I did not know how to take pleasure in all her grace. This tale of clothes, which disrupted me so much, should only fill with my heart with tenderness and pity. And he continued with his confidences. The fact that I did not know how to understand anything, I ought to have judged by deeds and not by words. She cast her fragrance and her radiance over me. I ought never have to run away from her. I ought to have cast all the affections that I lay behind her poor little strange gems. Flowers are so inconsistent, but I was too young to know how to love her. Aww, this is so sad. Chapter 9. I'm getting tired, by the way. I believe that for his escape, he took advantage of the migration of a flock of wild birds. On the morning of his departure, he put his planet in perfect order. He carefully cleaned out his active volcanoes. He opposed 2 active volcanoes. Okay. And they were very convenient for bathing his breakfast in the morning. He also cleaned out the extinct volcano too. If they are well cleaned out, the volcanoes burn slowly and steadily without any eruptions. The volcanic eruptions are like fires in a chimney. Okay. On our Earth, we are obviously so much too small to clean out our volcanoes. That is why they bring out no end to trouble upon us. The little prince also pulled up with a certain sense of dejection, the last little shoots of the bulbs. He believed that he'd never want to return. But on his last morning, all these familiar tasks seemed very precious to him. And when he watered the flower for the last time and prepared to place her under the shelter of the glass globe, he realized that it was very close to tears. "Goodbye," he said to the flower, but she made no answer. "Goodbye," he said again. The flower coughed, but it was not because she had a cold. "I have been silly," She said to him at last, I ask you for forgiveness. Try to be happy. It's very like sad stories, to be honest, but yeah. But it was just him with the flowers, the little prince. He was surprised by this absence of reapproaches. He stood there, all bewildered. The glass globe held a rest in mid-air. He did not understand this quiet sweetness. Of course I love you, the flower says to him. It is my fault that you have not known it all the while. That is no importance. But you have been just as foolish as I. Try to be happy. Let the glass globe be. I don't want it anymore. But the wind. My cold is not so bad as all that. The cool night air will do me good. I am a flower. But the animals, well, I must endure the presence of the 2-3 caterpillars as I wish to become acquaintance with the butterfly. It seems that they are very beautiful, and if not the butterflies and the caterpillars who will call upon me, you will be far away. As for the large animal, I am not afraid of any of them. I have my claws. And naively, she showed her 4 thorns. Then she added, don't linger like this. You have decided to go away. Now go. For she did not want him to see her crying. She's such a proud flower. Aww. This is so fucking cute. It's just a flower and a man, but it's so cute. The cute stories. Chapter 10. This is the last chapter for today. He found himself in the neighborhood of an asteroid 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, and 330s. He began therefore by visiting them in order to add to his knowledge. And the first of them was inhabited by a king, clad in a royal purple and ermine. Okay. Oh shit. This is the king? This is the planet? What the hell? He was seated upon the throne, which was same time both simple and majestic. Damn! What you found this? Let's go! What am I doing? Here's a subject, exclaimed by the king, when he saw the little prince coming. And the little prince asked himself, how could he recognize me when he had never seen me before? He did not know how the word is simplified for kings. To them, all men are subjects. Approach, so that I may see you better, said the king, who felt consumingly proud of being the last king over somebody. The little prince looked everywhere to find a place to sit down, but the entire planet was crammed by obstructed by the king's magnificent ermine robe. So he remained standing upright, and since he was tried, he yawned. It is contrary to etiquette to yawn in the presence of a king, the monarch says to him. I forbid you to do so. I can't help it. I can't stop myself, he replied. The reply of the little prince, truly embarrassed. I have come on a long journey, and I have had no sleep. Ah, then, the king said, I order you to yawn. It is years since I have seen anyone yawning. Yawns, to me, are objects of curiosity. Come on now. Yawn again. It is an order. The fuck? That frightens me. I cannot anymore, murmured the little prince, now completely abashed. Replied the king. Then I order you sometimes to yawn and sometimes to. He sputtered a little and seems vexed. Oh my god. For what the king fundamentally insists upon this is what his authority should be respected. He tolerates no disobedience. He was an absolute monarch, but because he was a very good man, he made his order reasonable. If I order a general, okay, he would say by way of example, if I order a general to change himself into a seabird, and if the general did not obey me, that would not be the fault of the general. It would be my fault. Oh, okay. May I sit down? Came now by a timid inquiry from the little prince. I ordered you to do so. The king answered him and majestically gathered in a fold of his ermine mantle. But the little prince was wondering. The planet was so tiny. Over what could this king really rule? Sire, he said to him, I beg that you will excuse my asking you a question. I order you to ask me a question, the king hastened to assure him. Sire, over what did you rule? Over everything, said the king, with magnificent simplicity. Over everything? The king made a gesture, which took in his planet and other planets and all the stars. All over that? Asking the little prince. All over that, the king answered. For his rule was not only absolute, but was also universal. And the stars obey you? Certainly they do, the king said. They obey instantly. I do not permit subordinations. Such power was a thing for the little prince to marvel at. If he had been master of such competence authority, he would have been able to watch the sunset, not 44 times in a day, but 72 or even 100 or even 200 times without ever having no move of his chair. And because he felt a bit sad and he remembered his little planet which he had forsaken, he plucked up his courage and asked the king favor. I should like to see a sunset. Do me that kindness. Order the sun to set. If I order a general to fly from one flower to another like a butterfly, or to write a tragic drama, or to change himself to a seabird, if the general, did not carry out the order that he had received, which one of us would be in the wrong? The king demanded. The general or myself? You, said the little prince firmly. Exactly. One much require from each one of the duty which each one can perform. The king went on. Accepted authority rests first of all no reason. If you ordered your people to go and throw themselves into the sea, they would rise up in revolutions. I have the right to acquire obedience because my orders are reasonable. Then my sunset? The little prince reminded him, for he never forgot a question once he asked before. You shall have your sunset, I shall command it, but according to my science of government, I shall wait until conditions are favorable. When will that be? Inquired the little prince. Replied by the king. And before saying anything else, he consulted a bulky almanac. Okay. That will be about that will be this evening with 20 minutes to 8. And you will see how well I am obeyed. The little prince yawned. He was regretting his loss of sunset. And then, too, he was very beginning to the little court. Okay. I have nothing more to do here, he said to the king. So I shall set out on my way again. Do not go, said the king, who was very proud and having a subject. Do not go. I will make you a minister. Minister of what? Minister of justice. But there's nobody here to judge. Well, we do not know that, the king said to him. I have not yet made a complete tour of my kingdom. I am very old. There is no room here for a carriage, and it tires to me to walk. Oh, but I have looked already, said the little prince, turning around to give one more glance to the other side of the planet. On that side, and as on this, there was nobody at all. Then you shall judge yourself, as the king answered. That is the most difficult thing to do of all. It is much more difficult to judge oneself than to judge others. If you succeed in judging yourself rightly, then you are indeed a man of true wisdom. Yes, said the little prince, but I can judge myself anyway. I do not need to live on this planet. Said the king. I have a good reason to believe that somewhere on my planet there is an old rat. I hear him at night. You can judge this old rat. From time to time, you will condemn him to death. Thus, his life will depend on your justice. But you will pardon him on each occasion, for he must be treated thriftily. Thriftily. Jeez. He is the only one we have. I, replied the little prince, I do not like to condemn anyone to death, and now I think I will go on my way. No, said the king. But the little prince, having now completed his preparation for departure, and had no wish to grieve the old monarch. If your majesty wishes to be promptly obeyed, he said, he should be able to give me reasonable order. He should be able, for example, to order me to be gone by the end of the 1 minute. It seems to be that conditions are favorable. As the king made up no answer, the little prince hesitated a moment. Then, with a sigh, he took his leave. I made you my ambassador, the king called out hastily. He had a magnificent air of authority. The grown-ups are very strange, the little prince said to himself as he continued his journey. Let's go! That is the first planet that the little prince found after his departure, I guess. I don't know who's the little lion. Anyway, that is it. 10 flipping chapters done. I can't believe I actually finished 10 chapters. I mean, yes, it's just 10 chapters, but I finished my 10 chapters and I feel okay with it. Is there anything to do? I'm not gonna continue my stream because I did my things. I just want to read, and that is it. I'll continue this next time to finish it. There's 27 chapters, and I would like to finish it because the story is actually good. It's sad, it's good, and it's kind of like funny a bit, I guess. But yeah, I think that is it for now. Let's go. Do you have anything else to do? Any shouters? 15. Let's go. So today we Halo Maria, halo. Ini udah mau udahan. So thank you for today. I actually can't believe that I actually finished the 10 chapters. Ya emang udah jarang live. I think later I'm probably gonna continue reading. Ini kan baru chapter 10 ya. So we have 27 chapters and I kind of want to finish it. I think later in the night I'll continue, or in the morning. Yeah, so hope you guys like it. This is the end of the stream. Shout out to Lerza, Luca Little Lion, and Maria Cuita yang udah join. Walaupun aku juga nggak jelas bacanya. Sorry if I have many mistakes when I'm reading, and I hope you like it. I'll do it again probably later in the night, like 9 or 10, or probably in the morning tomorrow. Like I don't know, tomorrow like 7 or 8, or tonight at 7, 8 or 9 or 10. I don't know, depends on when I want it. Anyway, bye bye. Have a great day. Have a great day. Bye bye.
I know why they hating on me, so I switch spots. Never running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, and you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they hating on me, so I switch spots. Never running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop. Hold the wrist, I had to get the bag. Ice on my wrist, diamonds move a lag. Never switching position, that's where money be in my bag. Gotta thank God for all the shit that I got, I never had. Now that I'm in it, I got a ball. Roll to the wrist, and downs are froze. She wanna fuck, vamonos. Taking it down, dominoes. Then kick it out, adios. Stacking the bread, loud the door. Hold the wrist though. Don't know where the switch though. Got my pants off. Think I need a branch, stroke. We keep it lit. I can't let these niggas miss us. Talking crazy, think you might get stitched up. I know why they hating on me, so I switch spots. Never running out of fuel, so fuck a pit stop.